All right, so now we've gone through all the different sections of the inputs tab and what data you need to pull from those two PDFs that are attached in the course, where all the information goes. And now we're going to look holistically at the project to see what the returns are like, everything, cash flow, everything to get a full sense. I can tell you right now, this deal does not work, but let's look at it. So here we go, sharing the screen. So we got the purchase price. We got the rents, other income. We got the equity splits dialed in. We got current numbers. We got projected numbers. We have our loan metrics. We have everything. There's no seller financing on this. So let's look at the construction budget is 0 because everything's already been renovated. In the executive summary, this tells us how much cash we actually need to get to the closing table, right? We got to have the down payment. We got to have the earnest money deposit. We're paying out the acquisition fee, closing costs, $327,250. Of that, we have $34,000 that we don't spend, but we have to reimburse whoever put down the earnest money. We have to pay out the acquisition fee to the team. So we're left with $12,000 in the bank once we close. Now, on this exit strategy, really, selling it in 3 years, not really. Remember the plan is to sell it in 3 years. So in 3 years, right now, we would make $111,000. And then we have to split it up with the investors and with the operators. So right now, the investors would only make 4% return on their money. This is not a deal that anybody would invest in. Let's look at the cash flow. So the cash flow, here's how this sheet works. Here's how you can understand it. When you close the deal, the gross potential rental income is pulling from the inputs, the current income, sorry, brain lapse for a minute, the current income and our projected expenses. Those are the two numbers it's pulling for the current income and the current expenses. We're making $6,600. We have to spend $3,800 and change on expenses. Here's our loan that we have to pay to the bank. So at the end of month 1, we are in the hole almost $2,800. Now, as we're working the plan is 12 months of renovations, or 12 months of turns. Every time a lease comes up, we're putting a new tenant in place at market rent, or we're just bumping the market rent for the current tenant. So we're improving the income every month as we go. 12 units, 12 months. The assumption is we're turning 1 unit a month. So you can see our income is going up steadily by a little bit more than $300 a month. So our cash flow starts negative $2,800, then 25, 22, et cetera, until we get to month 11, where finally the property can pay for itself. It has enough cash to pay all of its operating expenses and pay all the debt service. Now we can see right here with the information we have set for the investors paying a 7% preferred return, there is no cash left over to pay that return. So that 7% is just stacking up. It is accruing until the property can pay it. And it just keeps stacking up and stacking up. Even when this property is fully stabilized, we're only clearing $468 a month after operation costs and after debt service. So right now, this is not a deal. We're looking at the cash flows. We're looking at the exit strategy on how much returns the investors and the operators are going to make. This is not a deal. In the next session, we're going to go through what can we manipulate? What numbers, what levers can we pull to turn this from not a deal into a deal? Now, that doesn't mean the seller's going to accept those terms if it has to do with sale price, but we're going to go through all the different levers we can pull to increase the returns for the investors, increase the cash flow, increase everything.